What's going on, guys? Jonas Prime here, and today I'm doing one of my first ever interview videos with Terren. And for those who recognize Terren, he was just a part of the channel history at one point. We did a couple videos together, but now we're back together again to talk about one of the craziest sailings in Royal Caribbean. So let's take a deep dive look into this. Also, I'd like to take into account that I do say a lot in this video. I honestly do not know why I was saying that. I didn't realize it, but I said it and now it's in the video. So if you get irritated by that super easily, this probably isn't the video for you. I am so sorry, but I'm gonna make this fun for you. If you can count how many times I say then put it down into the comments. I will give you a shout out in the next video just for the hard work and effort. But honestly, go ahead and enjoy this. Don't get irritated at me. I'm so sorry. I'll make sure that does not happen again. All right, let's start this thing. Everybody should recognize Terren at this point. He was in one of my previous videos, and he was just on board one of the craziest sailings on board Icon of the Seas. Terren, is it true that you were on board the Icon when the glass slide broke that made national television?
Yeah, it is definitely true. It's just as crazy to me as it is to you and everybody else that saw it. And I just happened to be there at the time that it happened. So,
Wow. Okay, that's insane. And where were you when that incident happened?
So I don't know exactly when it happened because I wasn't outside whenever it did happen. So I must have been at like a show or like eating or something like that. But I was laying in my bed and just scrolling through TikTok that night, and I see a TikTok pop up and say Icon of the Seas water slide broke, and I'm like, well, did this happen before I was on the ship or what? And then I soon realized that it happened while I was on the ship that day. And I was like, holy crap, I was just on those water slides and one broke. It was crazy.
I'm definitely glad that you made it out of there unscathed. We should not be worrying about stuff like this, but accidents happen. But still, Royal is definitely reliable for what happened, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I mean, this shouldn't happen at all. So, what was it like after you saw it? Like, what was the slide like?
So at first, like on the video, it didn't look like it's such a big hole. Like on the video, you just see kind of the water pouring out. And even from a distance, like I was eating in one of the diners where you could like look out to the slide that morning, and I saw the hole. I was like, well, I'm gonna go outside and see truly what it's all about. And when I got out there, there was some workers starting to get like a lift out there to kind of patch the hole up with like some sort of tarp or like some sort of material just to wrap around the slide. And luckily before that, I got to see exactly the hole and how big it was, and it was big enough for like somebody to fall through it, that's for sure. And it was just like a giant chunk missing in the glass. I was like, wow, it's actually crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely insane. And I must say, like, imagine you're sliding through one of the slides and you just see a hole. I mean, that is definitely scary for somebody, to say the least. So I'm definitely glad that everybody in the incident did make it out alive. And you said that they were escorted off by an ambulance. Am I correct?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that was from the slide or from like something else, but there was an ambulance that did have to come to one of our ports and get somebody off the ship. Like their whole family was getting off the ship, and it held us up at our port for a while as well. So I'm not sure if that was from the slide or if it was another medical emergency, but it could have very well been the person that was on the slide.
Yeah. That definitely makes sense. I mean, it can't be a coincidence, but medical emergencies happen way more often than you think. And
Sure.
it's just the case. And as a matter of fact, when the slide broke, that was around the debut for Star of the Seas, which you were there when she first arrived at Coco Cay and history was made. And we'll get to that in just a second, but I must say that the slide on board both Icon and Star were shut down because, I mean, there's a case happening and everything, and I got to see Star when she arrived in Cape Canaveral, and yeah, she was off. So I have to say that that's not something you see very often, is a slide disabled. But back to Coco Cay, how was it like to be part of history? Like, did you see any famous celebrities, or did you have some sort of an announcement made when Star pulled in? What was it like?
Yeah, so I personally didn't see any celebrities. I'm pretty sure there was a lot on like the Starship though, and there was like a bunch of people vlogging and stuff that was on my ship, but I wasn't really paying attention to like who they were or anything like that. I was kind of just enjoying my time. But they did make a big announcement whenever the ship was coming to the port, and they told us all to like look outside. So like we all went to the pool deck and like just got to see the ship as it was pulling in. I think we were leaving as well, and it was a super dope experience. Like just to see like a ship like the Icon. I mean, it does look really similar to the Icon. You know, right next to us, and we're on the Icon. It was pretty crazy. So.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And did you get to go off the ship and see both ships together?
I did not. So it was just from the ship. It was after we had already been called to like get back on the ship from being at the port. So yeah, we didn't get to go off or anything and see it, but we got a nice view from up top.
Dang, well that must suck because I've saw pictures myself when people were taking pictures, and it was definitely a view. And to us cruise fans, we consider that a big deal. Like to the average Joe, that's probably not much, but when you think about it in grand scheme of things, two of the world's largest cruise ships just docked right next to each other. I mean, yeah. That's not something to take lightly, in our opinion. And with a follow-up, did you get to see the Chief Dog Officer Rover?
Yeah, so I saw the dog. I wasn't even aware there was like a dog on the ship. So I was eating, and I told my girlfriend, I'm like, look, there's a dog on the ship. What the heck? And I thought it might have been like a service dog or something like that at first. But then like I was told like it's a big thing. Like the dog is on the ship, Rover. I was like, oh, that's cool. But I found that out after I saw it, and then I didn't see the dog again, unfortunately. So I didn't get to go up to it or anything like that, but at least I got to see it.
Wow. At least you got to see it. I mean, in essence, you did get to see a celebrity at some point. I mean,
true.
Just in dog form. She's definitely very popular amongst the cruise industry, along with her sister Sailor that's on board Star of the Seas. And I'm sure that they're going to be getting a third dog for Legend of the Seas that is still being built right now. But back to your itinerary, I did do some research. I did some internet stalking on your cruise date, and it says here that you were at St. Martin, St. Thomas, and Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Out of the three, which one was your favorite, and why?
For me, it was the first island, which I believe was St. Martin, and that's just because there was way more to do, like directly when you got off the ship. And for that island, we also planned an excursion, which was like the racing one, like the Amazing Race excursion there. But I felt like we should have planned an excursion for St. Thomas because there was really nothing other than like shops immediately when you got off the ship, and everything to do was like an hour's car ride away. So at St. Martin, there was like immediately you could go to the beach, you could rent a cabana, you could get jet skis, you could do this, you could do that. But at St. Thomas, there was like not much to do when you're off the ship. It was really beautiful, both were really beautiful. But like as for things to do, definitely St. Martin. And then when we were at Coco Cay, we did have water park passes, but unfortunately it did rain and lightning like the whole time that we were there, so we didn't get to use those, and we just had to get a refund, which sucked because it looked sick. We got to like look and see what the island looked like, but weren't able to do anything there. So I would say the first island was the best.
What was your favorite part about the ship?
I don't know if I have one favorite about the ship because it was all pretty great. Like the food was great, the service was great, the room was nice. We got like I said, that room where it's like the balcony, but like included in your room, you could just choose to open it up and down. Thought that was really nice. The dining experience was good, like eating at the dining room every night. And then I tried the hibachi, like specialty restaurant there. That was also good. The milkshake place was pretty good. I would say actually that was the most disappointing part was the milkshake.
Really?
Like Yeah, like they were like, I forgot how much, like $15, and I was expecting the milkshake to be way better, but it was just like a normal milkshake. But if that's the only thing I'm really complaining about, like that should tell you that it was pretty great.
Wow. Okay. I was about to ask you what was the most disappointing part about the cruise, and who knew that would have been the milkshake? That normally cheers people up. So, well, that's definitely a surprise. And I have a personal question for you. When you boarded Icon, you got to see the Pearl, and that is an architecture that definitely gets my attention. I'm admired by it. What was that like, seeing that thing up close and in person?
It was like, honestly, it was crazy. Like, it looks like it should not belong on a ship, and it's on a ship. Like, it's I don't know how it's even possible, but it is. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool, especially like when it was nighttime. Just like seeing all the lights and stuff on the inside of it, and like how it moved and all that was pretty cool. So I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm definitely excited to see it myself. Personally, that's going to be one of my favorite attractions right there. And do you have any sort of recommendations for somebody sailing on board Icon for the first time?
The only thing, like I said, is maybe, well, it was our fault, but to just like plan out your destinations a little bit better and like see exactly what there is to do once you do get off the ship, because after St. Martin, we were like kind of expecting St. Thomas to be almost the same. So we're like, okay, it's not a problem. We didn't book an excursion for St. Thomas because we're going to be able to just get off the ship and be able to do something. But that wasn't the case. Other than that, I think that's it. Like, they make everything really easy. Like, so you don't have to do much of anything. Oh, the water show was actually pretty cool too. I forgot about that. I would say definitely see the water show, and the comedy show I thought was funny, but depends if you like, some heavier type of jokes. But for like a family thing to go to, I thought the water show was really good.
That's a really good intake. Icon's definitely known for its aqua theater, for sure. That's one of the main attractions back when they were first launching the Icon class. So thank you very much for your opinion. And as for the comedy show, I don't know if I'll ever visit one on board ship again, because after what happened last time, let's just say I was embarrassed walking out. Yeah, I got caught recording. I didn't know that was a rule with comedy. And so the guy was just like not trying to be too rude, but he was definitely being very adamant about it. And he just pointed me out in front of the entire audience, and it's like, what is that thing recording? Turn that thing off. Like, it was, yeah, I just walked down mid-show. I was just like, and my brother was like, oh, you were the one that got called out. That's funny. Definitely, thank you very much for your opinion. And honestly, here's a good question for you. Would you ever sail on board Icon of the Seas again?
I mean, I definitely would, but I also like to experience new things. So like, I think I would, maybe choose another Royal Caribbean ship just to experience something new. But like, I would definitely do it again for sure. But like I said, I always like to experience new things. So
yeah, that's awesome. Icon of the Seas and Star of the Seas are definitely big enough to go back on it and still experience new stuff. Like, there's way too much things to do to accomplish in one sailing. That's the great thing.
I remembered something too.
What's that?
Another recommendation I would have that I thought was fun was the escape room as well.
The escape room, yes.
Yeah.
That's I never tried that on board ship before. I've only tried it once, and that was on land.
I thought it was cool. I liked it.
It's space themed, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that's a pretty good escape room. And how much did that cost you?
To be honest, I don't remember, but I would say it's worth it. Like, I've done like escape rooms on land, and the best one that I did was on the Icon. I like that one a lot.
That's very awesome. Did you ever try the Crown's Edge?
No, I wasn't trying that. That's where you go over the edge, right?
Yeah. For those who don't know what Crown's Edge is, it's basically a giant plank that takes you overboard the ship, and it just drops. And you're just hanging off the ship and going around it and back on board the ship. We're thinking about trying it for the next video, just to have some insane content. But
yeah, I mean, you let me know how it is. I personally wasn't trying.
For sure. Well, especially with everything going on board that ship. Next thing you know, glass slides are breaking.
You never know.
No, don't want to be the next victim on board Icon. I swear. Some people are even saying that ship is cursed, which I don't personally believe, but, people have their own opinions, and with everything that's going on, I don't blame them. Cruising is definitely safe, but anything still can happen, no matter how many protocols are put into place. Let me see here. And out of everything that happened on board Icon, from the glass slide breaking to seeing Sailor or seeing the Star of Seas or having that bad milkshake, what was the most exciting part on board Icon at Seas?
Well, for me personally, I like to eat a lot of food, and yes. I would definitely just say all the restaurant experiences and being able to get food whenever I wanted, unlimited ice cream whenever I wanted. That might sound so lame, but I just actually love eating food. So I thought that it was really, really good.
I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you at all. Did you ever try the Empire Supper Club?
I'm not sure.
You probably didn't, being that it cost $200 to get in.
Yeah, okay, I definitely didn't try it.
That is one of the most exclusive restaurants. It's New York style. It's like a 5-course meal, and I think you would personally love it.
Yeah, I should have tried that, to be honest with you, but yeah, I didn't.
I don't think we'll be trying that, unfortunately. A little bit too high price on my end, but if you ever go back on it, you should definitely try it. On Star to Seas, they have one too, just a different style, new Chicago style, actually.
Really?
Yeah, so it's definitely some good food. I'm not sure if there's any golden steaks involved, but I would love to try one. But outside of that, that's pretty much wrapping up the whole interview. So thank you very much for coming in and talking with me about your experience on board Icon, especially with everything that happened. I knew I had to talk to you once when I found out one of the most insane sailings that you were a part of made it to national television.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime. Well, listen, I won't take too much more of your time, but I just wanted to say thank you. And out of one more question for you, actually. Since you loved Icon at Seas, would you try Royal Caribbean again?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I know some people on my end, if you ever wanted to get back on board ship, love to do some content with you again, too. Who knows?
Sure.
Could be a possible video. Well, thank you very much. I hope you have a good one. Well, that's the entire interview, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was definitely a very interesting video, to say the least. I know that wasn't as much as action-packed, but I gotta say, sitting down and just talking to an old friend and discussing cruise stuff was definitely fun for me personally, and I'd love to do it again. So if you enjoyed this type of content, be sure to give this video a like, and remember, if you counted how many I said, I'll give you a shout out in the next video. All right, you all have a good one. Till next time, stay cruising.